Hello, Sheldon here. I'm doing a video today to show why I add an audio out jack to the Game Master cartridge. I'm going to do an audio comparison and you can be the judge. For me, it sounds much better having the sound come right directly out of the cartridge. So this is what I've done. I've added a jumper just underneath the clock. Okay, I've patched the ground over and I've patched the audio line over. Now my connector that goes into the jumper is protected with a 1 UF capacitor. Okay, and then it goes to an audio jack. And the reason you're going to want a capacitor on there is because when you plug an audio line in, you temporarily short it, and this could potentially wreck something on your computer. Okay, so a cap will protect that. Okay, so we'll go to my disc here. We'll load my music player. Okay, so this is a custom player that I'm currently working on, so none of the memory locations I'm writing in will jive with what I've posted for people to download. These are, I've moved down everything in memory, so I could do a major addition to my music player. Okay, I think I've given myself another K. So what this does is that this player is basically 1K lower RAM, okay, in the upper area. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load my program. Okay, and I'll load my music in. DBL drag.gmc. Okay, turn the volume up. Okay, so this music is coming from the color computer. In my case, the VGA out, which would be your audio out of your computer. Okay, I'm gonna run my program now, and you'll hear the music automatically go staticky. Okay, and it's from pulling joystick values. Ooh. Okay. Now if we unplug this, okay, I'll plug it into the Game Master sound cartridge. Okay. Much cleaner. And I'll run this. And I'm getting joystick readings. Uninterrupted music. Okay. So this is all I've done on my design, is I've changed it so you have an audio outline on your cartridge for your games and as your working card for making your games. That's what these basically are, basically my development cartridges that I made for myself. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop this. I have a feeling that if John Linville's watching this, I have a feeling he did not include an audio jack for two reasons. It increases the cost slightly, but I'm going to argue that in a second. And the other reason would be because when you first turn the computer on, all the notes are glaring. Like this. Okay? But, I mean, most modern day computers are going to have a set of speakers that have a volume control. So really, it's not a big deal. once you get those your startup program to silence it, it'll be fine after that. And chances are you're not using this for all your day-to-day games or whatever. You're just plugging it in when you're using it, or you're plugging it in to play the game that's on it. Really, so you can just plug your audio right back into it. Okay, so I suspect this is why John didn't do it, is because of that. But again, these SDCs are great because you can auto execute things when you first boot. You could easily get it to run something to silence it, just like you can get it to auto start the SDC Explorer. Okay, so we'll go drive 0, disk 3. In my case, my music program will silence it. So we got the sounds going, and oh, I guess I gotta execute it. Boom, silent. Okay, so it'd be really easy to set up to silence it, and it could be game specific still. I mean, I could have a game on this board that as soon as you've loaded it in, I silenced it with the assembly, so it can go quick, you know. Okay, my argument. It doesn't cost more to add these features. All you need is 2 holes for this jumper. Just have a jumper setting, and have these lines go to it, your ground and your sound line, and have it so you can also pop in the 1 UF capacitor right on board. And while you're at it, why not add an auto run jumper? Okay, that way you can, rather than it automatically connected, why not have another jumper there? Okay, the reason why it's not going to cost more to do that, I've ordered boards on OSH Park, and it does not cost any more to add more lines to your board. The cost is in the size of the board. Secondly, it doesn't have to cost more as a kit to buy because you don't have to include that stuff. Those are all options that we as developers can just add our parts to this board. If we want to have an audio outline, it's up to us to put it on there. It doesn't need to be there to function, and neither does that cap. It's only there if you want to use that audio line. That is my argument for John to add that to a revision. I honestly think this board needs this revision. You look at the Orc 90, the Orchestra clone stuff. What do those all have? Those all have an audio out for better sound. Yes, sure, you can get some stuff to work through the sound line without interruption. An example would be John Linville's Farfall. He's only using the X axis. Okay, of course that wouldn't disturb the sound because it's using the same mux bits as that measurement can be done on the joystick. Okay. But as soon as you change the mux bits around to measure the y-axis, you get a cut in the sound. Having an audio out jack, you get no cut. It's undisturbed music. It's perfect. I think this board is a great board. I'm going to continue to do this modification to all my boards, but I kind of hope that John will consider doing a 3.0 revision and add some options to this. One being a jumper for the auto run. And again, if these are being sold as complete cartridges, we can just solder that jumper across if we don't want to put a jumper on it, right? And as far as the audio out jack, we don't even need to add those components to it if we don't want it. Maybe we're only making a platformer that only uses left to right. In that instance, you don't need the audio jack. Okay, you could just do it straight up through the computer. And I agree with that. You wouldn't use an audio out jack if you're just using left and right on your joystick. But a lot of the games that we play do use the y-axis. The ones I plan on doing in the new year are also going to use the y-axis. So you will see me release games with an audio out jack. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'm really curious what other people think. If this is a modification that John should really consider. Me as a developer, or wannabe developer, I haven't actually developed anything yet, so I guess I can't call myself a developer. But I would like to have those options on this board for future orders. Okay? Anyways, thanks for watching.